Some pretty incredible footage coming out in the past 72 hours, and what you are witnessing is not taking place in the Middle East or in the Gaza Strip, but right here in the United States, in cities like New York, Chicago, New Orleans. On U.S. soil, there are protests and attacks taking place, and what we're hearing is that this will intensify, that this war is nowhere near done, Israel has said. And just the other day, I let you know that we had heard from the foreign minister for Iran who warned the United States that if this war continues, that the United States would not be spared from their fire, and that there is concern that a lot of the people that could attack us here on U.S. soil are already here and have already made their way through the southern border. Now, in addition to that, I just shared with you yesterday the breaking news, literally hours after it had taken place, that in Russia, an airport was overtaken by pro-Palestinian protesters, and they went out onto the runways and were going from plane to plane seeking out Jewish refugees. And now we're hearing that refugees coming here to the United States are saying they are concerned about their safety, even being here on U.S. soil. They do not feel safe with what's taking place. Now, I'm going to share with you the latest video footage coming out on this, and I want to warn you, it is intense. However, I do believe that knowledge is power, and we need to know what is going on. Let's dive into the video footage and the articles so you can see exactly what's been happening here in the United States in the past 72 hours, and let me know your thoughts. Are we safe here? Let's go ahead and take a look and get you caught up on the latest. Here's some video footage.
You're looking down at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. This is Flatbush Avenue, where you can see a large rally that was labeled Flood Brooklyn for Gaza, a pro-Palestinian group. It's a long line of people. So far, a relatively peaceful march as they make their way along Flatbush Avenue.
These are the very tense moments immediately after that shot was fired. You can see people scattering, running for cover amid the chaos and confusion. Police were able to subdue the shooter, take him into custody. No word yet on any charges here.
Yet another shocking video shining a light on the disturbing rise of anti-Semitism on college campuses. Take a look at this demonstration near Tulane University in New Orleans, turning violent after a masked pro-Palestinian protester tries to burn an Israeli flag.
Some pretty intense video footage. Now, take a look at this article that just came out. Link in the description below. Hamas survivor speaks out about ignorant pro-Palestinian protests in the United States, and you can see this just came out a couple days ago. Survivors of the Hamas terror attack have spoken out against the ignorant pro-Palestinian protests erupting across U.S. cities and college campuses, and fear that it could be the beginning of something worse. I opened a newspaper, and on the second page, I saw a sign on a store saying, "No Jews are allowed," said Maya Parizer, 27, to the Post. Now, she recently arrived in the United States after escaping the Nova Music Festival massacre when Hamas terrorists slaughtered more than 200 innocent revelers on October 7th. For me, it brings back the days of the Holocaust, where it started on small things, but then the hate crimes just grew bigger. Now, she was partying with friends at the festival in Israel, not far from the Gaza border, when the Iran-backed terrorists attacked. She hid in a small room for 23 hours with 3 other family members as terrorists swarmed the event, killing or capturing anyone they could. She said even though she's now on U.S. soil, she still does not feel safe. Ahead of the meeting with the U.S. senators on Capitol Hill this week, she was forced to enter the building through an underground tunnel as pro-Palestinian demonstrators blocked the entrance. She said that she feared that the protesters would turn violent, which flew in the face of her perception that the U.S. is the most safe place possible. I want to stop being scared like I've been since October 7th. It just keeps getting worse because I'm not in a war zone anymore, but it feels like I am in some way. I'm scared that around any corner someone could identify me, maybe from an interview, maybe from hearing my accent, maybe just assuming. This is 2023. People should just wake up. Soon after Israel began its retaliatory airstrikes against Hamas, pro-Palestinian protesters took to the streets across the country. While many have been peaceful, others have been hateful demonstrators burning U.S. flags and Israeli flags, or even worse. At a pro-Palestinian rally in Midtown on the day after the Hamas attack on Israel had killed 1,400 Jews, one attendee was seen brandishing a picture of a swastika on their phone. Several high school girls from Brooklyn Urban's Assembly Institute of Math and Science for Young Women also brandished unsettling signs at a Washington Square Park rally on Wednesday reading, "Please keep our world clean," and above was an illustration showing the Blue Star of David in a garbage can. Mark Afsker, the Soviet Union-born grandson of Holocaust survivors, said some of the U.S.-based demonstrations that he has seen or read about take a very shallow view of the situation. I don't expect most people to get into the depths of some conflict or situation halfway around the world. It's totally fine for people to be ignorant of a situation, he conceded, before adding, "It is not fine to be ignorant and then express extreme, very strong opinions about a situation that they know nothing about. And not only that, but also to insist violently to make their opinions enforced, that is something that is completely unacceptable." The campuses of some of America's top colleges and universities have been the sites of some of the most anti-Semitic rhetoric displayed under the guise of showing support for Palestine. On October 11th, a 24-year-old Israeli Columbian University student was beaten with a stick outside of the university's main library, leading to an assault as a hate crime charge against 19-year-old Maxwell Friedman. Campus protests resumed the next day as thousands of people representing both sides flooded its main square. The day after Hamas cowardly striked against Israel, 34 student groups at Harvard University signed a letter saying Israel was entirely responsible for the terror attack. Harvard saw large pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campuses, which included the chant, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free," which the Anti-Defamation League calls an anti-Semitic slogan. Hamas attack survivor Adel Ramir agrees, but took it a step further. When they say Palestine will be free from the river to the sea, we have to understand that that is a genocidal war cry. The 68-year-old American Israeli who spent 14 hours locked in her home's armored safe room as she and her family listened to Hamas fighters burn the town to the ground and kidnap their neighbors. Afsker also shared a Halloween account echoing the events of the Holocaust relayed to him by his sister-in-law, who took shelter with her 3 young children as a bloodthirsty terrorists raided their neighborhood. The image that she told me about, how they were hiding in the shelter, listening to the soldiers around shooting and hearing their voices and waiting in horror for the moment that the door would open and they would be shot on the spot. Those are the images that I didn't expect to hear now because I remembered so many of them. He said that although the Holocaust happened 80 years ago during a different era and in a different place, it is still living history for everyone in Israel today. He expressed fears about what will happen with our young leaders of tomorrow who are currently being fed a steady diet of inaccurate information about Israel at leading colleges and universities around the country that will graduate into the real world. Kids grow up. But the concern is that if those kids, when they grow up, will not get some sense into them, will become the leaders and will replace the leaders today that still have some common sense. And that will be concerning. So let me know your thoughts, concerns about those crossing over our southern border. But in addition to that, the misinformation being sent to our students at university and campuses that are vocalizing extreme opinions that are anti-Semitic in nature and also anti-American, as we've seen flags burned for our own nation here in the U.S. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, if you missed the video footage of what took place less than 24 hours ago in Russia at the airports being overthrown, check out this video right here next. And you guys, as more information comes out, I'll be sure to keep you up to date and let me know, are we on this route here in the U.S.? Is World War III right around the corner?